Breaking right now at 4 on CBS News Philadelphia. The front of a SEPTA bus ripped apart after it rear-ended another bus along Roosevelt Boulevard. A 72-year-old passenger has died and more than a dozen others are hurt. And we're now learning that one of those SEPTA drivers is fighting for her life at this hour. I'm Natasha Brown.
I'm Jessica Cartalia in for Siafa Lewis. That crash happened just after noon at the corner of Shelmere Avenue and Roosevelt Boulevard in the city's Ronhurst section. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Dan Snyder is in the Northeast with the very latest. Dan?
Well, Natasha and Jess, just an extremely frightening afternoon for folks who were riding on these SEPTA buses that you see here behind me. You can see SEPTA has brought in those heavy-duty tow trucks. They are now pulling out the second of those two buses. The front just completely mangled on this one. Police have said that this deadly collision injured more than a dozen people, and we have confirmed that a bus driver, one of these bus drivers, is listed in critical condition. One man who was on the bus you're seeing right now with this mangled front end, he walked us through what he saw.
Somebody yelled, "Whoa, whoa, whoa," like they missed their stop or something.
Robert West was on the Route 14 bus Friday afternoon heading to get a haircut, but his day was derailed when the bus he was on slammed into the back of another SEPTA bus. Surveillance video nearby shows the moment those two buses collided.
My phone flew out my pocket. One guy in the other seat across from me on the other side of the aisle, he flew out of his seat.
Chopper video shows people laid out on the grass in front of the Roosevelt apartment homes, which were already evacuated for an unrelated fire alarm. Ada Marin was waiting in her car to go back inside and watch the crash unfold right in front of her.
There was a guy who was holding his head. There was another guy with blood running down his leg, a guy with blood on his arms. Over here on this bus, there was actually somebody who's had collapsed.
According to Philadelphia police, a bus driver is now in critical condition and a 72-year-old has since died. West says he helped one man get off the bus after the crash and that he's just happy to be alive.
It was shocking. That's the most I can say. It was shocking.
Philadelphia police and SEPTA are still on scene here investigating. So far, no word on what caused this collision. We also have no timetable for when crews will get this stretch of Roosevelt Boulevard reopened. Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Dan, thank you. The crash, as you can imagine, is causing delays on the boulevard. The outer lanes are closed because of the accident between Shelmere Avenue and Bly Avenue. Traffic is using the inner lanes to get by. There's no delay on the boulevard northbound between Bly Avenue and Shelmere Avenue.
Well, let's take a live look now at Cape May. The sun has returned and the humidity has dropped after a stormy morning. We're in store for the nicest weekend since the beginning of June.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak, some good news to end the weekend, Andrew.
Well, that water looks inviting out there, doesn't it? We're actually looking at a rain-free weekend. Now, before we get there, because it's still technically Friday, we are scanning the skies and we might find a stray shower in one or two spots. I call this the post-frontal grunge. And most of the rain is staying to our north, to our east. Boston could get a couple of strong to severe thunderstorms. We still could get a rogue rumble as we head into the next few hours. Once we get to sundown, though, we should be clear and free of any rain, especially as we head into the weekend. So again, can't rule out a stray shower, even a rumble of thunder tonight, but we are really going to be looking at a much improved forecast. Here's a couple of things to know. Seasonable temperatures into the weekend, much lower humidity. Not only does it look great, but it feels great out there. And most importantly, it will remain dry for all the outdoor activities. Temperatures will remain in the low and middle 80s through about 7 o'clock. And then tonight, we clear things out and dry things up with temperatures into the lower 70s, middle 60s by the time we head into the early part of your morning. Quick look at the 4-day weekend. It's not really a 4-day weekend, but just to get you into next week, we have plenty of sunshine from the city to the shore. Temperatures nice and comfortable in the Poconos. Early next week, the humidity starts to rise along with temperatures. I'll talk about all of that and have a complete look at your 7-day plan in just a few minutes.
All right, Andrew, thanks. To find the latest on your weather anytime, go to our website, cbsphiladelphia.com/weather.
Well, right now, police are searching for a 15-year-old wanted in a deadly attempted carjacking in South Philadelphia. An arrest warrant has been issued for Rashid Banks Jr. Police say he is armed and dangerous. 50-year-old Michael Salerno was shot and killed back on July 12th when police say he tried to stop 3 people from stealing his car. The shooting happened along Porter Street. Police say Banks and 2 others got away in a red Kia Soul. If you know where Banks is right now, you're asked to contact police right away.
The son of Philadelphia rapper Gilly DeKing was killed last night in Olney. 2 others were also shot. They survived. Devin Spady, also known as Young Cheese, was shot in the back along Masher Street around 8:30 last night. No word on a motive. Throughout the day, local musicians and leaders posted tributes to the young rapper. Coming up at 5, we will hear from a community activist on what needs to be done about the gun violence in our city. And detectives are hoping to learn more about a deadly shooting in West Philadelphia. A 35-year-old man was shot a number of times along Vine Street just before 9:30 this morning. Officers are asking if anyone saw anything to call the tip line. You can remain anonymous.
Well, the search did resume this morning for young siblings swept away in last weekend's flash flooding in Bucks County. Chopper 3 spotted crews out there combing through the mud and debris. We're still waiting to hear whether divers were able to search the Hughes Creek today. They're looking for 2-year-old Maddie Shields and her 9-month-old little brother, Conrad. Police just released new pictures from an officer's body camera of just how bad the flooding was along Route 532 on Saturday. They show just how dangerous the conditions got very quickly when the water rose. And another tragedy in that area after police say a father killed his young son in a murder-suicide in Lower Makefield Township. Police found 47-year-old Joseph Rosario and his 8-year-old son last night in their home on Heritage Oak Drive. Officers tell us both of them have been shot. The little boy was a 4th grader at Afton Elementary School in Yardley. The Pennsbury School District will have grief counselors available at the school tomorrow from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m.
A church in Camden County is increasing security after the pastor says a house of worship was vandalized while a group of children were inside attending Bible camp. This happened at the Lions of Judah 7 Ministries in Waterford Township. New Jersey reporter Ryan Hughes is live outside of the church where the pastor says this is not the first time this has happened. Ryan.
Yeah, Jessica, good afternoon. The pastor calling this a very brazen crime. He says those young kids were inside the Welcome Center attending Bible camp, like you mentioned, when all of a sudden someone launched a huge rock right through the front door of the church. The impact was so loud, some of those kids thought it was a gunshot, and they started screaming. Take a look at some surveillance video obtained by CBS News Philadelphia. It appears to show that suspect skipping through the church parking lot not long after the vandalism happened. Now, the glass on the door was shattered after multiple rocks were thrown. The impact also damaged a lion in the front room, which is the symbol of the church. We're told this all happened right around noon yesterday at the Lions of Judah 7 Ministries Church. That's on the White Horse Pike in Waterford Township, Camden County. The non-denominational church, it's been here for about 8 years, and the pastor tells me the church was also targeted a few weeks ago when someone threw rocks at the door and knocked over flower pots, but he says this time was much worse.
To attack a church, what has happened to our society where the houses of worship are openly and brazenly attacked? What is going on in your head when you think that that's of God? God is about peace and love, not about violence.
And the pastor has already replaced the front door ahead of this weekend's services. He also tells me he's going to be installing more cameras around this area to increase security. We also spoke with police this afternoon. They tell me a 20-year-old man was arrested not far from here, right across the street, in connection to this vandalism. He is now facing criminal mischief charges as well as resisting arrest. We are live this afternoon in Waterford Township. Ryan Hughes, Jess and Natasha, back to you in the studio.
All right, Ryan, thank you so much. Well, tributes are now pouring in for singer Tony Bennett, who died today at the age of 96. A fan placed roses on Bennett's Hollywood Walk of Fame star. In San Francisco, flowers have been appearing in front of a statue honoring him. A fellow musician, Stevie Van Zandt, called Bennett the best of the best, the last of the legends.
I left my heart San Francisco.
Tony Bennett may have left his heart in San Francisco, but his road to fame started in New York.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Anthony Dominic Benedetto was born in Queens in 1926. He started singing as a child and eventually got a job as a singing waiter. But his big break came in 1949 when Pearl Bailey asked him to open for her. Sitting in the audience was Bob Hope, who was so impressed he took the young singer under his wing.
He said, "What's your real name?" I said, "Anthony Dominic Benedetto." He said, "Well, that's too long for the marquee." He said, let's Americanize it and call you Tony Bennett."
Taking a chance on love.
Tony Bennett went on to have a string of hits in the 50s and 60s.
I walk along the street of sorrow.
And spent the next decades performing to sold-out crowds.
That lovely day.
Although the old standards were Bennett's specialty, he always stayed close to pop culture.
Now you know, guys, this is MTV.
It's Tony Bennett.
Hey, good to see you.
But music was not his only talent. Bennett also became a respected painter, using his real name, Benedetto.
When I get just a little tired of singing, I paint. And when I get tired of painting, I sing.
Anything goes.
In his later years, Bennett recorded duets with popular artists like Lady Gaga and Amy Winehouse, attracting a younger generation of fans. In 2021, Bennett's family revealed the legendary singer was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease.
How do you keep...
Bennett's career spanned 7 decades, earning him 20 Grammy Awards. He performed to audiences in cities around the world, but he'll forever be linked to one.
San Francisco.
Well, quite a legacy he leaves behind. Coming up at 5 o'clock, CBS News Philadelphia reporter Kim Hudson talks to music fans in Manayunk about Bennett's life and legacy. We're back in a moment.
It's a Summerfest Friday, and we are exploring close to home this week. For 90 years, Morris Arboretum and Gardens has been giving visitors a chance to experience the beauty of the outdoors.
And CBS News Philadelphia reporter Marcela Bayeto is live in Chestnut Hill this afternoon to take us on a little tour. Hi, Marcela.
Hi, Jessica and Natasha. We're live here at Morris Arboretum and Gardens. Now take a look. We're just surrounded by all this beautiful greenery, plants, and different flowers in this area. Now they are celebrating a big milestone, their 90th anniversary, and this used to be owned by a sister and brother, Lydia and John Morris. And now it's a garden open to the public. Now take a look at how they're celebrating their 90th anniversary. Nestled inside Chestnut Hill sits an expansive green space.
It's a really serene place to wander around, and it's really peaceful.
We're a garden. It changes every year, so things grow, get bigger, get better.
Stroll around the 92 acres among towering trees and fragrant flowers.
We have some of the first plants introduced to Pennsylvania and some of the first plants introduced to North America here in our garden.
Marking 90 years as a public garden, Morris Arboretum has really grown from its early days.
This garden in the Arboretum was originally the home of just 2 people, and so now we have over 150,000 visitors a year.
As you explore the grounds, there's something to experience around every corner.
We have the only freestanding Victorian fernery left in North America, which is kind of a really cool greenhouse dedicated to only growing ferns. We have a tree adventure walk.
Yes, you can step out 50 feet above the forest floor, or for something a little more leisurely.
But we have a swan pond with 2 swans and a beautiful rose garden, which was just renovated this year.
At the updated Rose Garden, complete with a new stone pathway, you'll encounter the more than 700 plants with over 150 varieties.
Roses are really historic, and a lot of people have a really emotional connection to roses, whether it was in their parents' yard or if they've seen them lots of places, and I think the flower is really just stunning.
From beautiful blossoms to bloomin' bubbles.
I got one! I got some!
The littlest visitors seem to enjoy this weekly summer activity.
Oh no, they're attacking us!
But there's plenty of fun for kids young and young at heart.
Basically, everybody's a kid in the Garden Railway, whether you're 10 or 110. It's always fun. The trains go around, they make noise.
Be it that whistle of the miniature trains or the quiet buzzing of tiny honeybees. The botanical garden offers nature at its finest, right here in our backyard.
We have a fantastic collection of plants that you can really see in their beauty and glory here at the Arboretum. We actually have the largest tree in the city of Philadelphia here on the grounds, and we have a fantastic variety of flowers and shrubs and just things to see and do. So it's a great place to come visit in the summer.
And it takes a village to keep this place as beautiful as it is right now. We're joined with one of their, you're a staple volunteer here. I feel like you've been here for a long time, 27 seasons here with the gardens. And on top of that, your 92nd birthday coming up tomorrow. Congratulations. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, I'm going to keep hanging out with Irv here at the gardens, but we're going to toss it back to you guys live in Chestnut Hill. Marcel Bayeto, CBS News, Philadelphia.
I thought she said, did you say his name is Herb or Irv?
Irv Leventhal.
Oh, I was going to say, that would be very coincidental. Yeah, we could call him Herb. Thanks, Marcella. It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful out there.
I mean, we would not have a lot of people out there if it was like the last couple of weeks, months.
Yes.
Yeah.
But did you see how green everything was?
So nice.
Gorgeous.
We were just talking a little earlier too. This is going to be the first really nice weekend since the beginning of June. You want to get even more technical since the end of May.
That is crazy. We deserve this. Definitely.
We absolutely deserve this. Yes. Let's talk all about it. Let's walk over to the wall, show you what's happening out there. Look at Bethlehem. If you're in Northampton County, it's going to be another beautiful afternoon. Now, I cannot rule out a stray shower or a rumble. I know, right? We need one last bang before we go out, but it really is going to be a very isolated chance. The bulk of the energy as we head into the evening will be well to the north and to our east. We're talking Boston, we're talking over toward Long Island, but for us, we're just going to be talking about a stray rumble of thunder maybe for the next 3 to 4 hours, and then we're going to be done. Most of you, though, will remain dry, and it's much more comfortable as we head into the evening. 82 in Atlantic City right now, 83 in Wildwood, 84 in Philadelphia, 80 in Allentown. We're in the 70s up toward the Poconos. I want to show you this because the last couple of days we've been teetering between the upper 60s and low 70s on the muggy meter. Currently, it is 63 for a dew point, and that puts it in the humid but not so bad category. And before the weekend is up, we should be looking at dew points below 60, which means it's going to get nice and comfortable across the area. Here's our futurecast. Clear tonight, a bit of a northwesterly breeze. That's going to also help to dry us out, make us feel nice and comfortable. Into the overnight, clear skies and light winds. There could be 1 or 2 spots, especially if you receive some rain this morning, that gets a little bit of fog. But then we're going to wake up with mostly sunny skies for most areas. Fog, especially across central and southern New Jersey. Finally, a rain-free weekend. We're back into mostly sunny skies by the afternoon, and that will take us into your Sunday. Clear skies overnight Saturday. Sunday morning, we wake up with plenty of sunshine, and we keep that going all the way through. Most of your Sunday is going to be nice and comfortable, although humidity levels will start to go up as we head into next week. 66 tonight, clearing skies, not as muggy tomorrow. Head to the beach, head to the pool, head outside. 84 degrees, bright and sunny. Here is your 7-day forecast. 88 on Sunday. That's a great pool day as well. Now Monday and Tuesday, while we will remain mostly sunny to partly cloudy, we're turning up the dial on the heat, the humidity, and maybe a stray shower by Tuesday into Wednesday. Our headline, guys, turns to temperatures. By the end of the week, we are approaching the mid-90s, maybe a couple of spots in the upper 90s, and we're going to be talking about heat index values possibly triple digits by the end of next week.
Oh boy.
Ooh. All right, thank you. Still ahead on CBS News Philadelphia, more legal trouble for pop singer Shakira.
And the new original series Special Ops Lioness premieres this Sunday, and it features some of Hollywood's biggest names. Welcome back, everyone. Here are your top 3 entertainment headlines at 4 o'clock. Music great Tony Bennett has passed away. The singer had timeless hits that lasted more than 60 years, such as I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Tony Bennett was 96 years old. And a judge in Barcelona has opened a second investigation into alleged tax fraud by Grammy-winning singer Shakira. Shakira is already awaiting trial for alleged tax evasion of $16 million. Also, the Roald Dahl Museum in England, founded by the widow of the children's author, has acknowledged his racism was undeniable and indelible. Dahl died in 1990. He was the creator of characters like Matilda, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and Willy Wonka. However, the author has long been regarded as controversial for his openly anti-Semitic views. Well, the espionage thriller Special Ops Lioness debuts this weekend on Paramount+.
We're the strong.
We protect the weak. We are merciless in that endeavor. Is that an endeavor you wish to pursue?
Yes, sir.
The new original series features an all-star cast, including actress Lisla de Oliveira. Anchor Jim Donovan recently caught up with the star for a preview.
Special Ops Lioness follows the story of a CIA engagement team led by the wonderful Zoe Saldana. In this team, she also runs the Lioness program with Nicole Kidman's character, who's a supervisor over at the CIA. Lioness is a female undercover operative that is in charge of infiltrating terrorist groups and bringing them down from within. In the show, Joe recruits my character, Cruz Manuelos, to become a lioness, and she sends her on an undercover mission.
I mean, you've already said a few, high-profile stars. Who else is in this show?
Oh, you know, Morgan Freeman, Michael Kelly. It's a very star-studded cast, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it.
Catch the new series Special Ops Lioness. It starts streaming on Sunday on Paramount+. Paramount is the parent company of CBS.
Well, coming up in the next half hour.
Postal workers attacked in South Jersey. Police say one mail carrier was assaulted with bear spray. What's being done to protect these civil servants?
And a surprising new twist to a series of murders in New York. The possible connection a suspected serial killer might have to our area. Plus this.
Dulce Candles was one of the first stories featured on Focusing on the Future. Well, I'm going to show you just how far this young entrepreneur has come.
Welcome back, everyone. A trial date has been set now for former President Donald Trump in the classified documents case.
It's May 20th, 2024. Trump is accused of illegally retaining classified documents and interfering with the investigation. Prosecutors wanted a December trial date. A federal judge said that's too early for the defense to review the evidence.
And border issues are back in focus this weekend on Face the Nation. Margaret Brennan is host and moderator of CBS's Face the Nation, and she is joining us now from Washington. Margaret, thank you very much for joining us as always. The Justice Department today did warn Texas Governor Greg Abbott that his use of razor wire and floating barriers at the U.S. border with Mexico are illegal. So these tactics have frayed relations between the law enforcement agencies that work together at the border. So what's going to happen here?
Right. This makes it even more complicated, given the tensions within law enforcement in Texas. We're going to talk about that, whether these are measures that the Justice Department actually can intervene to stop. We know that this story first broke earlier this week with some firsthand accounts by medics who said these things were inhumane, denying water, describing a woman who was pregnant getting trapped in razor wire while attempting to cross. We'll break this all down with Tony Gonzalez. He's a Republican congressman from a border district with 800 miles of border in it. He's trying to craft some bipartisan legislation. He's got a lot of border agents in his district. We'll talk to him about that and the extreme heat, how it is complicating the humanitarian situation there at the border as well. We have Phoenix, Arizona Mayor Kate Gallego with us. We'll talk to her about that. And of course, immigration, always a presidential campaign topic. Chris Christie, the former Republican governor of New Jersey and now presidential candidate, will be with us.
Also, Margaret, 21 states, we understand, across the country have restricted gender-affirming care for children. So why the sudden political interest here among presidential candidates and governors on kids and gender identity?
Well, that's the question we've been asking, let's talk about the policies here. Let's talk about the medical situation and understand it, so then we can kind of understand the politics around this, because there's certainly a lot of energy in this space. Why? We're going to bring onto the program Sunday one of the top surgeons in the country who carries out these surgeries, and to talk to her, Dr. Marcy Bowers, about the standards that are being set for care, particularly of young people. And that's where a lot of this legislation has been focused on young Americans who are questioning their gender identity and may want to go through with medical treatment. So we want to understand that, so then we can talk about the politics of it as well. Natasha.
All right, Margaret Brennan, host and moderator of Face the Nation. Thank you so much for joining us. And now you can catch Margaret Brennan this and every Sunday morning at 10:30 right here on CBS Philadelphia.
The investigation into the Gilgo Beach murders on Long Island, New York, has spread to New Jersey and other states. Police are trying to determine if the suspect, Rex Heuermann, is connected to any additional unsolved murders, including 4 women whose bodies were found in Atlantic City in 2006. Investigators are also looking at unsolved cases in Las Vegas and South Carolina. CBS News has learned that police are looking into whether one or more of the 3 murders Heuermann is charged with may have taken place inside the Long Island home that he shared with his wife and children. Attacked on the job, postal inspectors and New Jersey State Police are investigating 2 separate attacks on postal workers. The first happened on June 13th in the Bridgerton area. A bystander stepped in when a man assaulted a mail carrier. We have video of a separate attack. This happened on July 3rd in Vineland. Officials there say the carrier was sprayed with bear spray in an attempted robbery.
This is something we take as our top priority, keeping our carriers safe while they're on their route trying to do their job. And, you know, these suspects will be caught, and when they are, it's a federal crime, and it's punishable up to 25 years in jail. But the fortunate part of it is that the Postal Service has federal law enforcement investigators. They're going to end up getting these guys in the long run.
There is a $50,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of these attackers.
Well, opponents of a proposed 76ers arena near Chinatown are marking the 1-year anniversary of the developer's big announcement by urging City Council to stop the arena. Now, this morning, opponents live streamed speeches on Instagram. The proposed arena site is in the Fashion District, and developers say it would be a boon for the city. Opponents say the development would hurt the nearby working class neighborhood of Chinatown.
Members of City Council, you are elected to represent us, the people, not buildings, not corporations, not profits. We are calling on you today to listen to the voices of the people who say no arena in Chinatown.
Well, on its website, the developers say the arena would not be in Chinatown, and they say our goal is to preserve local small businesses and help them benefit from a new arena, not replace them.
Well, you may have missed out on the $1 billion Powerball jackpot, but there's another chance to win big tonight. The Mega Millions jackpot is up to $720 million. The cash option, just over $369 million. It's the 5th largest prize in that game's history. And good luck if you play.
Well, you know, lead paint, it is an ongoing problem for older buildings in Philadelphia.
Still ahead, health reporter Stephanie Stahl will explain how the EPA is cracking down on the problem nationwide. One in 10 young adults in the U.S. regularly use e-cigarettes. Young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 used them the most. Patients who undergo gastric bypass surgery may be at an increased risk of developing non-alcohol substance abuse. That's according to researchers in Sweden who stress the importance of therapy both before and after the procedure. And researchers from Columbia University and the University of Texas are using AI to learn more about human evolution. They identified key skeletal changes that let primates walk upright.
Well, the Environmental Protection Agency is proposing a new rule that would impose tough standards on lead in paint in older homes and in schools.
Health reporter Stephanie Stahl joins us with what this means.
A new proposal out there. Philadelphia already has some regulations about lead paint to protect renters. Now the EPA wants a zero tolerance for a new national standard. Lead paint can be an issue in older buildings. In Philadelphia, children who live in poor and minority neighborhoods have the highest risk for exposure, according to the city health department. Nationwide, roughly 31 million homes have hazardous lead paint on their walls, according to the EPA.
We know that no level of exposure to lead is good for our children.
To eliminate the danger, the EPA introduced a groundbreaking proposal to lower its lead dust hazard level to anything greater than 0.
I think reducing the hazard level to zero or just anything above zero is going to help drive more cleanups. It's going to protect more children. It's going to remove the paint from these walls.
Lead-based paint was commonly used in homes before it was banned by the federal government in 1978. It can be especially dangerous for children, leading to developmental delays, learning difficulties, and neurological damage.
I can just imagine so many other people going through this, or so many people don't even know that they're exposed to lead.
If finalized, the federal rule is expected to reduce the lead exposures of up to 500,000 children under age 6 per year. Now, landlords in Philly are required to test and certify rental properties as lead safe or lead free. And the health department that monitors lead levels in children says those rates have been going down. So a little bit of improvement here in Philadelphia with that.
That's great news.
Yes.
Great to know. Good news.
Good news. Good to know.
Stephanie, thank you. Yes. Still ahead on CBS News Philadelphia at 4.
We are in Chestnut Hill for this Summerfest Friday. Marcella.
We're here live at Morris Arboretum and Gardens with some of the littlest visitors right beside me. We're going to come back with how they're teaching the next generation about nature.
We are taking Summerfest to new heights today.
And there is a lot to explore at Morris Arboretum and Gardens in nearby Chestnut Hill. And if you want a bird's eye view of the gardens, there is a perfect spot on the grounds for you. And CBS News reporter Marcella Vallejo is live in Chestnut Hill this afternoon to tell us all about this. Hey, Marcella.
Hi, Natasha, Jessica. We are live here at Morris Arboretum, and we're out on their exhibit here. We're 50 feet up in the sky. This is called Out on a Limb. Now, take a look at some video that we shot earlier. You can see this really gives you a point of view as if you were up in the trees, as if you were a bird. And they have so many fun attractions and little games for the kiddos here in this area as well, which is really awesome to keep them busy, especially during the summertime. And they also have a replica of a nest with even some robin's eggs as well. Now, we're joined here, though, with Clara Reyes. And Clara, you work a lot with the kiddos here, right? What's the importance of making sure that an exhibit like this is accessible to all?
Absolutely. Well, one of our biggest goals here at the Morris Arboretum and Gardens is education along with conservation, and one of the best ways to learn is to play. So here we have Squirrel Scramble, where you can pretend to be a squirrel and jump in these nets. As you mentioned, the bird's nest, where you can pretend to be a bird and sit on the eggs, but learn how they make their nests, what they use, how they use the trees, and you can use our binoculars to look all around you here at the Morris Arboretum Gardens. But what we truly want to convey is from 50 feet in the air, why trees need us and we need trees, and why it's so important to protect them here.
Right, and education is kind of the message here, which is so exciting to kind of make sure that these kids behind us know a lot about nature, right? And on top of this as well, you guys are celebrating your 90th anniversary. How does it feel? 90th anniversary, what a big milestone.
90 years is pretty big, but what I like to think about is the trees, really. Out on a Limb is actually built around one of our oldest trees in the Arboretum. It dates back to the pre-revolutionary America, and so that makes it, I don't know, older than America. So to think that, yes, we're 90 years old, but these trees have seen a lot more. So to think that we're part of a big legacy and these trees are part of something even bigger here. So we're all kind of interconnected here on this 90th year.
Yeah, that's a great point, but you're right. The trees around us have been here for a lot longer than that. And it's really beautiful because this entire exhibit is really built around the nature, right? Even, I mean, take a look at these, like the fence here too. These are actual just pieces of wood that were put up here as well. That's awesome. And in terms of, you know, how accessible it is for everyone, what is special about it? What was made so that anyone can really come out here and have fun?
Absolutely. So we are 50 feet up in the air, but this exhibit was built specifically to be accessible to all visitors with different mobility needs. So it doesn't matter how you get around, you can get up here and see the beautiful trees.
Awesome. All right, Clara, thank you so much. Live here at the Morris Arboretum and Gardens, I'm Marcella Vallejo, CBS News, Philadelphia. Back to you guys.
It is beautiful out there.
It is. Gorgeous day for it too, Marcella. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Well, the humidity is dropping, at least after a morning of stormy weather.
Meteorologist Andrew Kozak is here with the next weather forecast. Hey there.
Hey, I've never been so happy for one of our reporters to be out in a live shot.
Yes, exactly for her.
So pretty out there.
It's really a gorgeous setup for a very nice weekend. There's so many things you can do around the area. Fortunately, we have it all. We have the city, we have the shore, we have the mountains, and we'll have the weather to enjoy it. Let's walk over, talk about what's happening as we head into your Friday and Friday evening. Now, we still may have a sprinkle, a shower, even a rogue rumble of thunder as we head into the evening. The best chances of any of this, though, would be well to our north, especially across areas like Boston if you're traveling up there. But for us, after we get through about 7, 8 o'clock at night, we should be rain free, and we're going to keep it that way all the way through the weekend. 82 in Atlantic City, 83 in Wildwood. Oh, and I almost forgot, humidity levels drop off too. So we're really talking about it not only looking great, but feeling great. 75 Mount Pocono, Wilmington around 84, Dover 83 degrees. The Muggy meter, I've been showing this the last couple of weeks where it's just been stifling. In some cases, we've been at that 70-degree dew point or higher. We're currently at 63. That puts it in the somewhat humid category, but it's so much better than we've been, and it's going to drop even more as we head into your Saturday. So again, other than a spotty shower, we're clearing things out, we're drying things up. We could also thank a light northwest wind for that. That's going to help to keep things more on the comfortable side. We're going to start things off in the 60s. There'll be a little fog early on Saturday morning, early. We're talking 7, 8 o'clock, but finally a rain-free weekend with mostly sunny skies. I think the motto's even overdoing some of the cloud cover there. Saturday night into Sunday, picture perfect. Whatever you want to do, it's going to be great for it. Comfortable temperatures and then sunny skies from the start on Sunday all the way through the finish. And we're going to cap off the weekend with slightly warmer temperatures, but it's going to be nice and dry and comfortable. Right now, we're going to go for 66 degrees by Saturday morning. Clearing skies, not as muggy, and a light northwest wind at around 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 84 degrees, bright and sunny, less humid, and very, very nice to cap off the week. All right, let's talk about the 7-day plan. We don't have any next weather alert days right now. I will say Sunday will be the better of the 2 days just because we'll have full sunshine, no fog in the morning, and temperatures right where they should be this time of year. Monday and Tuesday, we're going to turn the heat up just a little bit more by Tuesday, even introduced a stray shower, maybe a rumble of thunder by Wednesday, and then by the end of the week, it's going to be more about the temperatures. In fact, we haven't talked too much lately about any real above average temperatures. It's all been about the storms or the smoke or both. But as we head toward the middle and end of next week, keep in mind, temperatures are going to start to rise. We're going to start talking about the heat index approaching 100 degrees or higher, and that also means we're going to have to start talking about heat safety for you and the animals as we head toward the end of next week with temperatures in the low, middle, and even approaching upper 90s. Until then, though, enjoy an absolutely gorgeous weekend.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Andrew. Well, you know, record-breaking temperatures are threatening the bee population in the southwest U.S.
Honeybees are crucial to our food supply. They pollinate the crops that we eat, including nuts, veggies, berries, citrus, and melons. Studies have indicated the extreme temperatures are a big factor in the population decline. That's why Arizona beekeeper Connie Moore is doing all she can to protect them. Right now, she's taking some of her bigger colonies and making them smaller, placing them in shaded areas.
We pulled bees off and basically made what we call nukes, a nucleus baby colony, just to kind of help dissipate that heat. Less bodies in that house. They'll use a gallon of water a day sometimes. If they die off, we are in big trouble. That impacts our whole food system.
Connie is passionate about what she does, holding courses on beekeeping and educating the younger generation on how to save the bees. We'll be right back.
A special day of racing for some Philadelphia kids. I'm Howard Monroe. Coming up, why organizers say the lessons learned here will take them far beyond the racetrack.
Well, she is a young entrepreneur who had some big dreams, but they aren't just dreams anymore.
In this week's Focusing on the Future, CBS News Philadelphia reporter Waukesha Bailey checked back in with the now owner of a candle shop who's lighting the way for future entrepreneurs.
Welcome to Dulce Candles.
She did it. Owner and operator Sanaya Thompson opened her first specialty candle brick and mortar inside Willow Grove Mall.
Everything was like all white. All of the shelves were white. We literally just had to move our stuff in. We have passion fruit right here.
Humbled and grateful, she showed off some of her favorite cupcake candles along with a few new yummy scents.
So we have our sugar cookie one, banana pudding, hot chocolate, caramel popcorn, vanilla lavender, cinnamon bun. I don't know if we had cinnamon bun last time.
It's been just over a year since we first met Sanaya whipping up these dessert replica candles inside her small workshop.
I make everything by hand, so not everything like the same.
She now splits her time between her pop-up inside Cherry Hill Mall and her new retail store. And of course, along for the ride is her A-team.
So this is Mom, my right hand. She's usually here at the register, checking people out while I'm making candles. So my grandma helps me from time to time with the wafers. She's pretty good with all the extra stuff.
We remember her grandmother. She traded in her Fruit Loops wax melts for banana wafers, a tedious task that's handled with love.
How do you feel about your granddaughter having this beautiful store?
A su poca edad que tiene.
She says she feels very proud of everything that I've did and accomplished in like my younger age.
Sanaya has added a new candle line to the mix.
She said, Mom, I'm gonna start making cakes. And I'm just like, how are you gonna make them?
She figured it out, custom candle cakes for maybe a birthday, wedding, or gender reveal party.
This is about 22 pounds. It's pretty heavy, and it's just layers. Everything is complete soy wax.
Although the store is filled with candles, it's also a place for young entrepreneurs to showcase their products, like this light installation.
So many people have tried to help me, and I just want to be that person to like other young kids and just people around my age, because they're not too far from me.
The store may have been Sanaya's dream, but it's a family business where customers also become family.
Thanks for visiting Dulce Candles. Hope to see you guys soon.
Waukesha Bailey, CBS News, Philadelphia.
From the heart of Philly, this is CBS News Philadelphia. Now at 5 o'clock.